Hey, hey. Kelly, you still in the airport? Chanelica. Hey. Jamal, you want to get on from yours upstairs? Or no? Oh. No. Oh my God. Hey. Hey, 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 hey. Chanelica. Thank you. It's going back now. I had cut it all off. Hey, everybody. I missed y'all so much. Did y'all miss us? We had a lot going on, as you know. Just wait for Jamal, y'all. You know the routine. Yes, we miss y'all too. We trying to get it together.
What up, gang? What's up? What's up, good people? Always great topics. We try to keep coming with, different topics that's going to be beneficial to people.
Dude,
You know, who that toot? What up, toot? Sis, what up?
if y'all can share this live, y'all remember how to do it. The little airplane at the bottom. Just share it live if you can.
All right, so you gonna say what you gotta do our intro and all that. Oh yeah, y'all remember the intro? All right, here we go. All right, so let's have it. All right, so let's get let the room let
Hey,
the room
sis.
warm up a little bit. You know what I mean? Good to see everybody out here. Good to see everybody. Make sure y'all do share. I'm gonna go ahead and share while I'm talking about it now. All right, so let's get started. So I'm Mo, and that's my wife Sheree up top. For anybody that's new that isn't familiar with the page or with our journey, basically we've been married for 13 years now, and we had a lot of rocky years and us being together, So we actually use this platform as a way just for us to kind of communicate, share some of the things that work for us, don't work for us. We don't claim to be perfect, but this is a
God.
non-judgmental, platform for us to be able to just kind of chop it up and have some relationship talk. So whether you're in a marriage, a relationship, you're dating, any of those things, all of that is welcome. We went through the pandemic and actually, got it together. We had like really one of our best years during the pandemic. So a lot of what we try to do now is just to try to recreate whatever we did then, so we can just be on the right track now. So without further ado, Cherie, what we got going on? Talk to us.
So we took like a little hiatus. um, Actually, because part of it was Ramadan, and then right after Ramadan, we decided to make some changes in our lives. And we moved to Vegas in 2 months. So we just on here want to share with everybody just how the journey went, the steps to this whole journey. We actually officially been here for a whole month as of September 1st.
Clap it up, show some love with a heart set, it ain't been easy.
It wasn't hard either, but it just all depends. We just wanted to get on here and share with everybody just what's been going on with us in the last 2 months. 3 months, right?
$1
and then, just us deciding to come to Las Vegas. So, it started, we already been talking about moving out of the state, probably since like 2018. So we've been talking about moving for a long time. It's always been a discussion. It's always been on the table. We talked about first Jamal wanted to move to Atlanta. I was like, hell no. And then we also talked about moving to Charlotte. Jamal didn't want to move to Charlotte. I don't know why. He just didn't want to move. But anywho, so like I said, we've been talking about it for a while. And then one day I was like working on my credit for a minute. Like I was just, doing any and everything I could possibly do to get my credit in order and just be financially stable, just overall. So I was like working on that. We put our house up for sale in 2020. Was it 2020?
Yeah.
Or 2021?
21.
No, 21.
21.
We should say, how did y'all come to the conclusion to decide the final destination? So we put our house up for sale in 2021. So that was just already in the making. We wanted to move out where we were living. We've been living there for 13 years as well. We had our kids there, but just the area and the neighborhood, I just felt like my children was always limited to do things because I just didn't like the block. I didn't like the area. I just was over it. So us selling our house was just a number one priority. But where we were going, we did not know. So in the meantime, while our house is up for sale, I'm getting my own financial self stable, getting things together as far as that. And so as that process was going on and on and on, this probably for the last year and some change, like I said, we've had conversations about moving to different places. So as we talked about moving to different places, we began to just look into, other options like moving to Jersey, moving to Delaware, looking at different properties, moving up, like way uptown somewhere, still in Philadelphia, but just not where we were. So in the process of that, I decided to go look into maybe getting a house, like buying another house. So I went through the process and got approved. So I got approved to buy a home in wherever in Philadelphia or wherever I decided I wanted to buy a house. And looking at the market and the houses they had for sale was like, oh hell no. Like as time went on, still looking. Um, so then we had talked to, so Jamal's sister lives here in Vegas as well. He has a sister that lives here with her husband as well. Um, and, and his dad came to visit Yo John during his birthday. His birthday, he came down here for his birthday to visit them and celebrate his birthday and everything else like that. We were supposed to come down, but at that time, again, we're in the process of moving, so money was just like, nah, we can't spend no unnecessary money. We're in the process of moving, so we didn't come. So
Nephew.
when his dad got back from Vegas, he was like, oh my God, y'all should come down here. Y'all should see how it is. It's so nice. Like it's so quiet, it's so peaceful, it's so. Did y'all get affected by the flood? No, we didn't. We didn't get it. It was near us, but we didn't get affected. So he's telling us how amazing it was. It's quiet. Is this? Is that? So we just was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm like, well, only way we'll know is if we come down ourselves, pretty much. So I booked a flight for us to come to Vegas Mother's Day weekend. Um, so we just was like, all right, we just gonna come down here and see what it's like. A little faster. A equals a little faster. What you mean, girl? I'm crying. Anyway, so we booked flight. We got a flight and plan to come down to Vegas. In the meantime, we still selling our house. We're still in the process of pretty much moving. Like wherever it was, we still was gonna move. Um, and then we actually came to Vegas to visit. No, I was like looking at houses and like checking out the pricing and stuff, like, and the cost of living down here was like, oh my God, they just put us Philadelphia to shame. It just put us to shame. It's highway robbery at home. I just say that, highway robbery. Um, so looking at houses, scheduling to look at houses, looking into the school districts, things like that. So we officially came down Mother's Day weekend, and we came like during the week because we wanted to be able to look at the schools, look at the houses, to see, the everyday life, because you really can't see anything if you come down on the weekend. So we decided to come down during the week, which made it 100% better and easier for us to really see exactly what's going on. And we came down, and it just felt like a breath of fresh air. It took a lot of weight off. And this was only in 4 days. We wasn't even here long. We was here for 4 days, and it just felt like a breath of fresh air. So we went into the schools and checked out the elementary school, then the middle school, and then the high school, because as y'all know, we got Harlem. She was going to the 4th grade. Idris was going to the 8th grade. So we wanted to know, what was the good elementary schools, and then the school after that, and then the school after that. So we went to the elementary school first, where most of the kids in the neighborhood would go to. Then we went to the middle school that most of the children go to, and then the high school. So the elementary school, it was just again a breath of fresh air. You go into the school, everyone's nice, very kind, respectful, just a great atmosphere, just overall. Again, what we're looking for. Then we went to we went to the middle school. Again, a breath of fresh air. It looked like a baby
Yeah.
college. Like it was, they like, oh, we have this activity, we have that activity, we have this, we have that. They got health, they got wood shop, they got
Arch,
home, they have artistry, they have band,
no, archery with bow and
archery.
arrows.
Yeah, like
Hmm.
all these different programs for the kids. And that's just middle school. That's just the middle school. That's not even high school. They have all these different activities. They didn't have a lot in elementary, but just the whole atmosphere was just a breath of fresh air. It definitely give your children something to appreciate, and just feel so much more comfortable and safe. Yes. No, bow and
Darts.
arrow.
You talking some darts.
Nice seeing you too.
Yeah, it's good. Not pottery. So
All of that. Okay.
yeah, so the other thing is when we looked up like schools and how the Vegas school system ranked with other schools, you know what I mean? Just by looking at the ranking system, they're not really ranked that high. You know what I mean? But when we came down here and we saw what
We
they were
miss you
offering,
too.
we saw, all of the environment and everything. It just took like a load off in terms of like stress of me feeling like stressed out about, how their school experience is gonna be. So I'll give you an example. When they had their first day of school, when they got in the car and we was like, all right, we was like, how was your first day of school? So Harlem, she was like, the kids, they're very fragile. And I'm like, what you mean by fragile? Like, so basically, she was saying that like they're not as like rigid, not as like direct, And Dries
Nina.
was like, when he went to the school, he was like, it's funny because everybody just wanted to make friends. He was like, they want to make friends and like get to know who you are. So he was like, people was coming up to me, Dad, and it was almost like they had like a spill. Like everybody had the same spill. They was like, hey, my name is XYZ. I'm in such and such grade. I live in whatever area. And what's your name? And he said he'd give his name, give a little spill. And then, they'll say a little something about the school if they already been there before, whatever. Like, yeah, this is a cool place, woo, woo, or this teacher is cool, or this teacher not, or whatever. And they're just like really open. So like at Philly, a lot of times we get caught up in that whole not being Joe thing. Like, no, don't be Joe. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going up to people and asking who they are, this and the third. And we'll click up a lot of times. You know what I mean? And like more so we be kind of separating ourselves to see who's the thoroughest or who's the this or that. But there, it's more so like they want to make friends. And even down to how they dress. Idris went in there. So Ed, what I'm saying, my little brother that's here in Vegas from Philly, what I mean, he moved to Vegas probably about 4 years ago. So Ed came over to Vegas, and Ed, if you know Ed, his page is Eddie Kane, right? And I'm following him, so you'll be able to see his page. But he's super fashionable, like everything labels, what I mean, designer, just big on fashion, what I mean. So when we got here, our stuff didn't get here yet, and so Ed was like, "Dries, come over to the crib and just raid my closet. Just get what you want." Ooh, ooh. So Dries came out of there with, what I'm saying, some clothes and stuff like that because our clothes didn't get here at the time. And he went to school. He had on all this crazy stuff, this and the third. And he was like, Dad, he was like, only one person like really knew what I even had on. He was like, they're not even really big on labels. They're not like really super big on, what I mean, who got like the best designer, this and that. He was like, they just really just be wanting to make friends and, do their thing. You know what I'm saying? So that was a breath of fresh air for us as parents, just knowing that, he's in an environment and kids just want to just be kids. You know what I mean? They want to enjoy different things socially. They go to like to the malls or they got like parks out here. One of the parks that is close to us, it's so nice. Like, y'all, it's so nice. I literally, and this on everything I love, went to the park one day, was supposed to do a little jog, and end up just like laying down on like a little calm little hill that was under a tree, and damn near nodded off because it was so peaceful. But these are like the type of environments that they are able to kind of like dwell in and make friends in and things like that. So, you know what I mean? I'm just excited as a parent from that perspective, with the kids, just the safety of it. Harlem's making friends and wants to go on our play dates. Idris, he's making friends really well. He's doing, certain things with sports and stuff. He had his friend over basically the whole weekend. His friend was just over here or whatever, and then at the end of the weekend, they went to the movies, with their friends or whatever the case may be. So, like that part is big. So if you look at where it says like Vegas school districts, they don't rank very high, but the environment and the experience, if you're going off of that, is super high. You know what I mean? And with Vegas, one of the things, they don't really put education on a high pedestal, because a lot of them actually find jobs in the hotel industry, because it's like a huge part of Vegas is the hotel industry or hospitality industry. So a lot of people, it's not that they don't have good school system, but sometimes the parents and the kids aren't really huge on academics because they know that they can come out of school and get a job, in a hotel or in hospitality and things like that, and live a good life. So, yeah, but it's really been a pretty solid, you know what I'm saying, just experience going through everything. You know what I mean? I know I'm missing a few things. I wasn't going to speak all on it, so you can have time to kind of chime in on stuff.
Um, so yeah, while we were down here, we visited 3 schools. Like I said, the elementary, middle, and high school. The high school is like both of the schools in one, huge. And again, offered so many things for the kids, education wise, and stuff that they can do, like a little trade or two, and things to just keep them active and independent, and teaching them how to be independent and things like that, which is great because they don't offer a lot of things no more. I don't even want to say anymore, no more. And a lot of the school districts in Philadelphia. So when we came down, we had a great time. Like, it was like, okay, what's next? So, we just, from there, was the whole goal was to just come down here. Um, so before we came down here, we actually got an offer on our house, um, like right before we came down here. So that was in the process. So at that time, they told us that they wanted to go to settlement in May. Um, so we like, oh no, we can't do May, because at that time it was like maybe mid-April, and we were still trying to figure out what we were doing. We didn't know yet. We didn't know if we were going to go somewhere else, like Jersey, Delaware, whatever, or like I said, Vegas was just a question mark. We didn't quite visit yet, but we did get an offer for our home. So in the midst of that, we still working, still trying to figure out some things of what we want to do, where we want to go. And then we did come and visit, and when we came down, it was just a breath of fresh air. Like, it was just a breath of fresh air. It felt good. It was peaceful. It was just like, oh, I can do this. I can see myself living here, being here. Before, when we were talking about moving in like 2018, I was very hesitant. I didn't really want to go anywhere because I felt like my foundation was in Philadelphia. I've only lived in Philadelphia 40 years of my life. I don't know anything else outside of Philadelphia but Philadelphia. Jamal, on the other hand, is a little different because he's lived in different places. But for me, I've only lived in Philadelphia. So I was always skeptical with just leaving because I felt like my support system was in Philadelphia. Family, friends, hey. Um, just everything to me was in Philly for me. So that was one of the things that was like had me hesitant, like, I don't know if I want to move, to a whole nother state. I don't know if I really want to be so far away from my family, things like that. So it prolonged it for a long time. And on top of us not being on the same page, too, was like, oh, hell no, I'm not going nowhere with this man. We not on the same page. Something go wrong. I'm gonna have to come back home. No. And it's just gonna be me and him. And if we don't work out, no. I'm not leaving. So that was like a really big thing for me with, just leaving. I'm leaving everything. Like, I don't know anything else but Philadelphia. But coming to Vegas changed well, that wasn't the full reason why I changed my tune, but that was partial of why I changed my tune. Because I definitely was very hesitant with leaving and moving because I felt like not stuck, but stuck. Like, is that a good idea to really leave? Like, everybody's here. My mom is there, my dad is there, my cousins, my sister, uh, you know, everybody. Like, all of my friends and family are just either between Delaware, Jersey, and Philadelphia. So it's always had me like, yeah, I don't know. But as time progressed,
No.
I knew I got an outlook on life when it came to friends and
That's,
family.
yeah.
That
Sure.
definitely
Yeah.
played a part in it too, where it was like, yeah, so it don't matter anymore because I was like basing my life on my friends and family. But then when you realize that your friends and family don't base their life around you, it gives you a better outlook on life and what you want to do with your life and where you want to go and how you want to live it, because you can't live it, based off of nobody else. Um, so for me,
And the
that
other thing too, just to add to that, it's like at the end of the day too, when you get married, you really do you create your own family. You know what I'm saying? So at that point too, you have to like think about what your legacy is going to be like for the family that you created.
it was
So
like a
you
little bit Billy, not YouTube.
look at that. Miss y'all, I'm here with the bull chink. He already though. Hold him down, dude. Hold Chinks down. You know what I mean? He need that. You know what I mean? He need you to hold him down. I mean, be solid with him. But yeah, so you start your own family. So like I think that is important too, because one of the things, one of my goals and dreams is to have my family, with me. When we get to a point where we have either a compound and we have homes that are in the compound and we have friends and family, or we have a large home and we're able to have friends and family and we just live together, what I'm saying, in a nice big space, you know what I mean? And network together, what I'm saying, do business together, what I'm saying, and have our like own this little, community or own village rather, what I'm saying? So that's important to me. But at the same time, it's like, I'm not going to, we thought it was important to make, what I'm saying, a change for our kids, what I mean, for ourselves, even being in the house. This the other thing. Sometimes houses hold trauma, and you walking in that same door that you done punched, out of rage each day, and you getting subtle reminders, what I'm saying, on a daily basis about, what I mean, TSG, you getting subtle reminders. What up? Compound screams caught.
God,
What's that
that's
joint?
hilarious.
The Walking Two. What's that joint you be watching?
Uh,
That's
so,
the cult joint. Oh
Ruthless.
yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Chill, Scott, chill. He ain't doing no cult joint. You feel me? That's but a lot of other communities do that. You know what I'm saying? In Dubai, they
Anything.
put all their riches together and they be in one home and things like that. A huge home, but they just be together. But yeah, so I mean, it's good to just give our family a new legacy. You know what I'm saying? So in my mind, I'm like, Dad, we really creating a new legacy on the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? So at some point, you know what I mean, whether it's our kids, or whatever, they'll be from the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? And I just thought, I'm like, we came together, and I'm really proud of Cherie. You know what I'm saying? Just really being a rider like that, because like Cherie said, I've been other places and lived other places, but Cherie's been in Philly her whole life. You know what I mean? But when we brought up the idea of it, she was really down to go, and really, and like follow through. When we went to go visit and everything, like she really was down to go. So,
But
you know,
that took time.
yeah,
Trust me, it didn't happen overnight.
yeah, but I mean, things do take time. You know what I'm saying? Things take time, but that was just, I feel like that was boss, just for us to really make a move. I wanted to be somewhere. I wanted to live, because we work hard. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to live somewhere that I would visit, or I would vacation to. You know what I'm saying? I wanted my house to look like the Airbnb that I would rent out if I was visiting that place. You know what I'm saying? I was just tired of working hard and seeing these different places and homes and different and things like that. And you know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, I really want my shit to look like, a certain way, and I want to be in that vacation feel, but on a daily basis, just living in that environment. So it took a lot, it took a lot of hard work, and it took planning. It took a lot of just blessings. You know what I'm saying? Everything wasn't perfectly mapped out. You know what I mean? And even if we talking about the beginning of the process, once we sold our house, it's like, all right, cool, that's a good thing. But yet, you know what I mean, we don't have a place to stay now. You know what I mean? So luckily Cherie was, worked for the hotel, and then we was
Wait,
able to get like,
you're skipping parts. Don't go that far. Don't
no,
listen to him,
that's
y'all.
far. Oh, all right.
Yes.
All right. Go ahead. Well, you take it and run with it then.
All right. So we visit Vegas, right? Came back home because he about to tell it all.
All right, go
We
ahead.
came back home, but remember I said early on that we got an offer on our house. So once we got the offer on our house, they wanted to basically go to settlement in May. Um, so we like, that's just too soon. We're not ready to go to settlement that soon, because that would literally only gave us a month to fully pack our house completely, have it empty and be gone. We weren't prepared for that at all whatsoever. Like, we started packing, like, granted, we did start like getting rid of things in the house, and going through stuff and start packing things like that. We did start doing that, but we were still living there. Like, you can tell somebody lived there. So when we got back home, we talked to our realtor at the time. His name is Aaron. He was great. He was definitely hands-on with everything, the whole overall process. He was very supportive of everything that was going on with us through this time of selling our home. We just started, really packing, things like that. And we asked him if he could talk to them and basically have us give us until the end of June. Um, so that would basically give us 2 months to be fully out of our house, everything packed up, shit, nowhere to go though. We still ain't nowhere to live.
Mm-hmm.
But we would be out of our house, because at the end of the day, we wanted to get out of our house. We wanted to move. It was no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, that was just a guarantee to completely be out of that house. No, we didn't have nowhere to live. No, we didn't really have a plan. Well, we had a little plan, but we didn't have like, okay, we want to move out of here to go to here. But mind you, we did just come back from Vegas at that time, and we like, oh, we can do this. Like, we can do this. So we started the process of looking at houses here. And of course, if anybody know, that is a process within itself. So in the midst of looking at houses in Vegas, we're packing up our home in Philadelphia. I mean, in Lansdowne. So we're packing up. I'm working, Jamal working. And then, you know, I came to Jamal, was like, listen, this is the plan. This is what we gonna do. So we had till June 30th to be out of our home. So my plan was for us to live in a hotel for 2 months. I mean, 2 weeks. I'm sorry. We live in a hotel for 2 weeks, and then we stay with Jamal's dad for 2 weeks. So you know that was the plan. Like that's just what we was gonna do. We didn't have a house yet in Vegas, but we needed to basically be out of our house. So we got a U-Haul. Oh no! So we talked to his. We had to figure out where we was going to store our stuff. So I started doing research on like a storage company and hey cousin, y'all in Jamaica? Oh my god! Anywho, um, so we looking into storage companies. So I look at like the Pod, and I looked at all these different companies with the storage and moving and things like that. And I mean the pricing was like, oh my god, I ain't got it. I don't even have it. Like and mind you, we didn't take any front. We got rid of everything in our house. All we brought with us is our personal belongings, which is clothes, sneakers, stuff like that. We literally started from scratch. We didn't take anything, and it cost. The pricing was just like what to just move this to here. Oh my
But it
god!
is across the country though.
I
So
mean, it
you
was
know what
across
I'm saying?
the country, but it was out. It wasn't a whole lot of stuff, but I get it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I'm at work trying to figure out, you know, the moving thing. We looking at houses. So, and here in Vegas, you know, like I said, Jamal's sister lives here with her husband.
Uh,
So they were a major, major help. Oh my God. Joe and Intezar, like shout outs to them because they have been super duper duper supportive through this whole entire time. In this process with us with transitioning from moving from Philly to Vegas, like they were touring the houses for us, looking at property, every like they've been such a big help. And
we
we
got
definitely appreciate them.
about protection and all that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So,
With them.
you know, we got back home. We started really like going hard, packing our
Yeah,
stuff up. You know, we end up actually talking. Hey, hey. We actually talked to Jamal's dad because he moved into a new house because he was trying to move in the midst of all of us too, and he actually ended up moving
Eddie
into
Cat.
a big home. And I'm like, well, you should just talk to
Yeah,
your
made it
dad.
sick.
Like, we can use, you know, see if we can store our stuff because he had a garage. If we can store our stuff in his house. So, you know, he decided to, you know, let us do that, which was a major help because, again, we had 2 months to move out of our house. We didn't have nowhere that we wanted, nowhere to really store our stuff that wasn't going to cost a crazy amount. And I was trying to save money. You know, I'm like, we can't be, if we move in wherever, you know, we just couldn't be spending no crazy money. So we ended up getting a U-Haul. If anybody had watched my stories through that time, they seen us put a U-Haul up and they like, where y'all going? What is going on? Where y'all going? And I'm like, you know, at that time we were just, you know, start packing up our stuff, moving the stuff out the house to move it to Jamal's dad at the time. Because we only had 2 months to clear our house out. So we just was getting a U-Haul, taking stuff over there. We still haven't found a house in Vegas yet. We still didn't know where we were going, but we had to get out of our house. That was no ifs, ands, or buts. We had to move. So um, we officially got just about the bulk of the stuff out the house. So we were still, you know, working and living there and everything else like that, looking at houses here in Vegas and things like that. So that transition was just going on for the past month and a half, that whole time. So rewinding a little forward, we officially come to our move out date. So we of course you gotta, cross your T's, dot your I's, all those little things, make sure everything is working, functioning. They come and inspect the house, everything else. We got everything out, literally everything. I couldn't believe how much stuff we just had overall that we built in like 13 years of living somewhere. You never know how much shit you got until you got moved. That is like, oh my God. Even though we still didn't take furniture, we didn't take no big stuff, but we still had a lot of stuff. So we moved out of our house. We were completely out. So now here's the process of living in a hotel. So we lived in a hotel for 2 weeks, two whole weeks. And during the process of that, Jamal's other children, his 3 other kids came. So it's me, Harlem, Jamal, Idris, Jada. Oh, and Tanea, his other daughter, was here from school. So she was here too. So we got 7 whole bodies in a hotel. Because, of course, everybody, if anybody knows that I had worked at a hotel in Philly. So I was able to get like discounted rates, things like that. So we had 7 whole bodies living in a hotel for literally 2 whole weeks. And it was definitely an experience because, again, I had a whole game plan. I'm like, all right, we're going to stay in the hotel for 2 weeks, and then we're going to stay with your dad for 2 weeks, and then we out. Like, after that, we out. So that was our plan. But, hey, Ron, I need my hair done. The children weren't in the plan. So it didn't put a damper on it, but it was just like, okay, now we got to switch some things up. We got a regular four body car, 2 people in the front, 2 people in the back. Now, it was like, okay, now we got to change some things up. We still stayed in the hotel. That didn't change. But I'm like, okay, I'm going to rent a car. I'm going to get a car that's going to accommodate all of us so we can I miss you too. So we can all get around. Because everybody's not fitting in my little Impala. It ain't happening. Not today. So, we made it work. Like, we definitely made it work. They were with us pretty much for a whole month.
Ryan, what up?
Really, the whole 4 weeks they were with us. They stayed with us. And we just made that whole overall process just work. And, it did work out. Like, we stayed in the hotel. Well, hold up. So 1 week we stayed in one hotel, right?
Oh, do not tell them about this.
That was cool. I'm definitely telling. I'm telling. We stayed in one hotel because I made a reservation for us to stay in one hotel. And then I made another reservation for another hotel. And in the midst, they met again. Like, we can't make it like everything was peaches and cream because it wasn't. Like, it did what it needed to do, and it worked out. But we still had little bumps in the road in the midst of all of this. So the first week at the hotel was great. Like, no complaints. They had a pool. It was, it was cool. Nothing to really, be mad about. Then the second week, we had stayed at another hotel, and they had visitors, y'all, and we had to get up out of there. That's all I'm gonna say about that. It was a bad joint. That's all I can say. Yeah. And we had to look at Scott. Yeah.
So tell them what hotel not to go to. Let's just put it like that.
So I would say, no, I'm not saying it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this.
Don't go to, what was it?
I'm not telling.
Hilton Garden, City Ave?
No. It wasn't that. It was the Homewood now.
Oh, Homewood Suites.
I'll give it out.
Sorry.
Homewood Suites. Information right.
Don't do it on City Ave. Thank you.
So we had to end up Mind you, hold up. It was the whole thing was crazy because they put us in the wrong room the first time, and then we turned around, had to wait to get in this other room to switch us into a bigger room. Because mind you, this is 7 bodies in the hotel. They not like, it's not like a condo and all that. No. So we had to end up packing up all of our stuff. You know, we all end up
Melville in the building.
So when we moved all of our stuff, me, Jamal, and the kids, we packed. I told everybody to pack for 2 weeks. Those 2 weeks was gonna last us 4 weeks because all I was gonna do was wash it again, and then it was gonna go into another week. So got to let people know. So
exactly. That's how I feel.
Anywho,
it was a bad joint. Listen, but that's the thing. Sometimes you don't want to put people on blast, but honestly, you know what I'm saying? If we would have got a heads up from somebody else that went through it, you know what I'm saying, then we wouldn't have went there. So sometimes, you know, I know a lot of people don't always want to put people on blast, but honestly, you know what I'm saying, it's a few steps along this road that I wish somebody would have said, hey, don't mess with this company or don't mess with this, you know what I'm saying, business, because it saves you the headache when you can get somebody that you trust, you know what I'm saying, that can co-sign or, you know what I mean, give you a heads up about not going somewhere. So, like I said, I wouldn't mess with the Homewood Suite joint on City Avenue. Don't do it. You know what I mean? You can thank me later. You know, that's just that. You know what I'm saying? I'm disappointed. Cherie, you know what I mean, she handled the situation. She, you know what I mean, she didn't necessarily want me to completely handle the situation because, like, sometimes we like thunder and lightning. We kind of tag team things. So what I'll do is, you know what I'm saying, I'll be the bad cop, you know what I'm saying, in a lot of situations. And I assert myself, you know what I mean? And I make people feel uncomfortable how they make me feel uncomfortable, however the service was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they not fancy. They not. You know what I'm saying? But I'll make them feel uncomfortable like how they made my experience uncomfortable. And I don't, you know what I mean, I don't care. You know what I mean? I like to get loud, you know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying, I like to get my point across, and I like to get upper management or whatever the case may be involved too, so they can, you know what I'm saying, be uncomfortable. So like I said, you know, I said what I had to say to management, and you know what I mean, on the strength that at the time Cherie was, you know what I'm saying, that was one of the partnering hotels where she had worked. You know what I'm saying? I didn't continue to go further, and you know, she handled the situation and we moved forward, and you know, it worked out. I just wouldn't recommend it. That joint, it was weird vibes from the beginning. The elevator, I wasn't feeling the elevator. You know what I mean? I'm gonna keep it a bean. When I came in, I something wasn't right there. The customer service, you know what I'm saying? It was just a couple little red flags that I picked up, but I ignored. But you know what I mean, it ended up working itself out. But like I said, I wouldn't do the Homewood Suites. You know what I mean? But go ahead, Cherie. My fault. I had to just put that out there.
So we end up packing up, and can we talk after this?
Yeah, we can chop it.
Don't laugh at him, Chanelica. He's crazy. Anywho, so we left there. I ended up making another reservation to the hotel we originally was at because they were nice. Mm-hmm. That was 40th and Walnut, the Homewood Suites there. Yeah, super nice, clean. They were very respectful. They handled us very well. It was great. The atmosphere was great. The kids had a good time. They were able to go swimming. You know, they accommodated what we needed, and it was perfect. Yeah. So we end up going back there for our last week, staying there. And
elevator.
You know, we had a good time. So we stayed that was our hotel stay. We stayed at a hotel for 2 weeks. Then 2 weeks after that, we went to Jamal's dad's house.
Listen, so it's hilarious too, y'all, because
it was the kids going back to the parents' house, and you know how they go when you go to your parents' house. It's a whole different. They
want everything a certain way.
I was cool with it. I didn't mind. I was absolutely fine with being at my father-in-law's house. He's amazing. If anybody knows him, he's amazing. Yeah, I wasn't. I was cool with it. Jamal was uptight.
I was uptight because I know how he is. You know what I mean? Like, y'all know how it is. Like, I know how my dad is. He's like, what was it, Robert De Niro, or was it Al Pacino in what was it, Meet the Parents? Remember they had that the tight wide dad? He was like real tight. He trained the cat on how to take a dump in the toilet and flush the toilet. Like,
I was
my dad,
cool with it.
he liked things a certain type of way. You know what I mean? And they whole environment was,
The
I think
parking
it
was
is.
the parking was cool.
Yeah.
It was cheap. They meters, they only for like I think it for like 4 hours. It might be
Yeah,
like
it was
$2 and
cheap.
something cents.
It was
It's
cheap.
cheap. It's
But
cheap. They parking over there is cheap.
But either way, I know how my dad is. You know what I mean? He like things a certain way. They whole setting is calm, is peaceful. You know what I mean? They got their own routine daily. You know, he get his coffee in the, you know what I mean, in the morning a certain type of way. Woo, woo. They got their own little routine. And I didn't really want to come in and throw it off. Not necessarily because I felt like I would throw it off. I had all 5 of my kids with us. So it was me, Cherie, and all
He
5 of the
had
gang.
all 5 of Jamal's with him. So imagine that.
You know what I'm
5
saying?
of him, y'all.
And
He had
so,
himself plus 5 of him.
so anyway, whatever that's supposed to mean. But, you know what I mean? So that's why I was just like uptight with everybody. Like, yo, pick this up, get this, woo, woo, woo. You know what I mean? But it actually ended up working out. You know what I'm saying? We definitely
I
had
was cool
Pops.
with it.
He was getting agitated, but as soon as we left, he was like, damn, we miss y'all. I miss coming in and my shit band not where it's supposed to be and this, that, and the third. I'm like,
Yeah.
so
Yes.
it ended
And
up
he has a 3-bedroom finished basement house.
Mm-hmm.
So it was me and Jamal in one room, Jada, Tanea, and Harlem in another room, and then the boys, Idris and Jamal, was in the basement. So we was all spread it around the house. But I was cool with it.
We was all around.
I was cool. Jamal was the only one uncomfortable. I was cool.
I mean,
like,
y'all know how
it is.
We look, y'all know how it is. We get to a certain point in our life where we grown. You know what I mean? We got our own crib or whatever the case may be, place that we stay, and we love our parents and everything. But we got our own shit.
Let me tell y'all, listen, right?
How we want to come in our house, do what we want to do in our own house.
Let me tell y'all, listen.
And now all of a sudden, I'm living with my dad again. You know what I mean?
So listen, right?
You know what I'm saying?
So we stayed in the back room, right? But he had this bed.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all remember the beds back in the day? It made so much noise. It didn't matter what you did. It didn't matter how you sat. It didn't matter. Yo, he had one of them. Jamal was so mad that the bed made so much noise. I was just like, it's not that deep, Jamal. Yeah. It's only 2 weeks. That's all I kept telling. It's only 2
was the
weeks.
loudest. That was the loudest bed.
He was like,
you could just
is so loud.
You could just sit up, and as you sit up, it's like brrr, brrr. You could just turn on it like brrr, brrr. So then we try and get it, and it's like brrr. I'm like, yo, man, we got to get up. Like, this shit is just a fucking alarm system.
He was
like,
pissed.
Yeah,
that bed made so much noise. He was upset.
Yeah, that was.
But I was cool with it. The whole I felt like that 2 weeks was a breeze. I ain't had to spend no money. Well, yes, I did. But if we was in a hotel, we was eating out. I couldn't cook. Like it was a lot. And mind you, in my mind, I ain't got it. We had a goal. We had a budget, and I was trying to stick to the budget. And this was a part of the budget, staying with his dad for 2 weeks.
True indeed.
So
a lot. That was definitely, you know what I mean, clutch. That was a big thing. And so it worked. That definitely worked out for us. It kept us, because when we was in hotels and everything, we was eating out every night.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So for
that's
a good
7 people eating out every night.
A good 2 weeks we ate out just about every night. Now in the hotel, it did have, like, you know what I mean, a stove and everything like that.
It had free breakfast.
It had free breakfast, and then
it didn't really have
complimentary breakfast, but not free. But complimentary breakfast, and
free.
And we did have a stove and all that. So occasionally, like, Sheree would make something, but for the most part, you know what I mean, we was pretty much eating out. So that definitely helped out a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
because like I said, his other children coming wasn't a part of the plan. Like, we didn't know that they were coming. We talked about them
it was
coming,
unexpected.
But it was an unexpected, like, oh, we're coming next week. And it was just like, oh shit. And we just had to adjust going from just me, Jamal, and Harlem and Idris to Idris, Harlem, Tanea, Jada, and Jamal. Like 7.
Mm-hmm.
So we went from 4 to 7 in the matter of like weeks. But we did make it work, and I feel like, in those 4 weeks it was so well worth it. I think everything for the most part went as planned.
Yeah, we had a really good. We had a really good time, and just we also had to we had to work it out together as a family. So it wasn't just me and Sharita had to, you know what I'm saying, like do everything. Like we needed them to come through, you know what I mean, even though they kids, they had to be on point with certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was straightening up, whether it was looking out for each other, like if both of us had to work or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Whether it was my oldest daughter, watching the kids, or whether it was, them moving everything, you know what I'm saying, from when we was in a hotel to, somewhere else, or us getting packed for things. So we really had to move militant, as a unit, because, at the end of the day, when we do have more people, more should be able to get done. And so that's what one of the things I pressed when we got all of the, big family situations and we got everybody over there. Like it shouldn't be dirtier. It shouldn't be messier, rather. It should be cleaner, because now we got more hands on deck. We got more people to, to clean or whatever it is that we need done. So that was good in terms of lessons with that, with the family. We had to really be a unit. And there was a lot of times, even with Idris' birthday, there was a lot of times where we had to, we was constantly working on our plan, even when we had other things going on. Nephew, what up? So during this process, while we was, again, living in the hotel, Idris's birthday came up, and so we had a birthday party for Idris, you know what I mean? So, planning with that, you know what I mean, on top of we still getting ourselves regrouped and, together with the family, with the moving process, and we still, planning the birthday at the same time. So one of those days where we had to move from that bogus hotel, you know what I mean, on City Ave,
Yeah, that was on
that
Idris'
was
birthday.
on Idris' birthday. So a large portion of the birthday party, Cherie couldn't go to because she was working all of that out. But that was a part of the whole team and game plan. So even after that, as a family, we clapped it up for each other because we had such a good, everything worked out like perfect because everybody was playing a part. And we just was clapping it up for each other for the things that we contributed for that day, for Idris' birthday to come through, for us to switch into the hotel. You know what I mean? All these different things that was going on. And, and it worked out. But, that was all a part of us just coming together and working as a team. You know what I
So it's amazing. Nah, not today.
No, you got
I'm
to
gonna
come
call
up.
you,
Wait,
man.
Ron, don't be asking to see nothing. You come up see it for yourself. You know what I mean? We got
Very
the
true.
guest room, so you ain't gotta get no place to stay. We not even gonna play that game. So you come up see it personal, and you let everybody else know about it. That's how we.
So, the 4 weeks, again, we in these 4 weeks, we still ain't had nowhere to live yet. So
Right.
we moving from hotel to Jamal Dad house. We still ain't had nowhere to live yet. So, like I said, this process, that 4 weeks
Oh,
was like a whole. It was something else. It was a lot. We definitely took in a lot. I was still going to work. Jamal was still going to work. We had the kids. It was a whole lot going on for us in 4 weeks, but we definitely
we
pulled
had a
through.
blessing because, again, when we sold the house, when we were, in transition and didn't have a solidified place to stay in Vegas, my sister and brother-in-law was, was going in houses. So we had a realtor, and they was actually going to the houses that we had on the list, and they was FaceTiming us, with the realtor. They was going through all the houses. So we was able to really, we never seen our house in person until we got here. You know what I mean? So my sister and brother-in-law, they was like really clutch and helping us to like see all the different options we had, and going back and forth with the realtor and the different, places that we was trying to, either get into or we was interested in. So that was a blessing. But go ahead, Cherie.
Um, so yeah, so uh, through that 4 weeks, all that was going on, still looking for a home. Um, Found a moving company,
Mm.
but Did anybody have any questions? Hey, did anybody have any questions?
Crystal.
Because we're actually getting ready to end this live because it ain't over, but we ain't gonna talk about everything today. But did anybody have like any questions, or did you want to join the live and have any questions before we get off? Because we're getting ready to end this live, and we're going to continue this probably next week, one day next week. I'm gonna call you, and you know, talk about the next step. It has
So the question we got one question: how many bedrooms and bathrooms does it have?
The bedrooms, we have 4 bedrooms, 3 full bathrooms, and a half a bathroom.
Housing prices. So the housing prices there. So we're leasing now for 2 years while we're here, getting a feel for everything. So I'm not sure exactly about the housing prices, but I know the rents for which like, you get, the rents for which you're getting is really, you know what I'm saying, you get a bang for your buck. Remember also in Vegas, in Delaware, and a few other places, they don't there is no state taxes. So that's also, you know what I mean, a jump. So if you are working, you know, your check is even but you take home more money because they don't take out as much in taxes. So state taxes is not here in Vegas, very similar to Delaware and a few other states. You know what I mean? But like I said, the rents for what you're getting is you're really getting a lot of bang for our buck. SA. So I'm certain in the housing market, especially with so much building is going on down here. Like it's so much building going on down here constantly. You know, I'm certain that when we get into the market for purchasing, which will be in a couple years, I'm certain we're gonna find something that's gonna be right up our alley, and we're gonna get a bang for our buck. You know what I mean?
So the cost of living here, the lowest I've seen in the process of looking from the leasing standpoint, like 1,700, you can get 3 bedroom, 3 bathroom. From what I seen, that was the lowest I seen. And for as far as like purchase, I've seen, well, for a house that we're in, is I think it's over. It might be 400,000. Might be a little less than that. Maybe 400 down. Probably about that though, about 400,000. And we're in, like I said, we're in a 4 bedroom, 3.5 bathroom
Garage.
So
you know what I mean?
And we have a 2-car garage as well, a pull-in garage, 2 driveway. And I mean, it's amazing, y'all. Scott, Ron, y'all just gotta come down here. The little tour ain't gonna do it. No.
Good night, y'all.
Literally. So you know, stay tuned for.
So give them the intro for the next one. How we gonna start off the next one with the serious, you know what I mean?
Oh, so the
situation.
the next episode is going to be, you know, part 2 of, you know, us moving to Vegas in 2 months. In the midst of that, we did find this moving company that
bad business.
It's bad. It's so bad. But and then it's so much positive in the midst of that, but it's still bad. But that would be part 2. We'll be talking about, you know,
I was just saying, you know, you gotta leave on a little drama, you know what I mean? Because people will love some
so Jamal want me to give y'all a tad bit of tea. All right, so let's just say the moving company that we picked, we only have partial of our things.
We ain't got all our shit.
As we speak right now, we don't have all our shit. We don't have all of our stuff. So
that's gonna be on our next live. We're gonna tell y'all how we're approaching having half of our shit that has not even been shipped to us yet.
No, that's not gonna.
And we 30 days. Don't listen to Jamal. We had a lot of good stuff and all that good stuff, but that's coming up next. Yes.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
Uh,
jury, all
I'm
kind
on
of
my
stuff
circle.
that ain't even get shipped to us yet. That ain't even here. So
It's crazy.
yes,
It gets crazy.
on the next episode.
Um, on the next episode of the Davises moving to Vegas in 2 months. It is a whole lot more to this. It's not over. But we wanted to definitely come on and share with you guys, just our little journey and, what we've been going through this whole past 2 months and how we've gotten here in these 2 months and, how we just decided to just up and leave Philadelphia and make a change for the better for ourselves and our children. And if anybody, y'all have no more questions, just want to make sure we totally appreciate you
We'll see y'all
guys.
next episode.
We
We
see
gonna
y'all
get
next
we gonna get into the tea
episode.
on the next episode. We've been
The
here 30 days and
tea
don't
is
got all our
still
stuff shipped,
here.
but we gonna get into that tea.
And we're gonna post next week when the date gonna be. Bye,
All right,
Shanika.
y'all.
And we see y'all next week.
Till next time.